Well, after a very long break, I'm finally back, and with my new mic. Since I just got a new tool to help me out, how about I do a countdown on the most useful things that help people out in video games? No. 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 I'm talking about weapons. Armor. Everyone knows the best defense is a good offense. Now, before we get rolling, I just want to say projectiles are not weapons. Also, I am including things that were originally meant as tools, but through the media have become weapons. Also, unlike my previous countdowns, these weapons did not have to originate in video games. And with all that stuff out of the way, let's do this.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Well, that sums up what the hammer does from Smash Bros. Having problems with a tough fighter? Don't worry, just pick up that hammer and pound him into submission. The hammer does what you would think it would do. Pound snails? More like pounds anyone who stands in your way into your oblivion. Just remember, whatever happens, have fun, and win. Well, how could you not win with this destructive monstrosity of a weapon at your disposal? Well, it has a few downsides. For one, you can't move very fast while using the hammer. Also, you can't unequip it while it's in use. But by far the worst thing about it is what it does to your jump. Not only does it restrict you to one jump, but you might as well be jumping with cement blocks stuck to your feet. I specifically remember in the original Smash in Saffron City, it was insanely easy to get people with the hammer to fall into pits to their deaths, even if they're level 9 characters. Also, some characters like Sonic are so fast, maneuverable, and dodgy, it makes trying to use the hammer against them pointless. Ah well, it's still good at pounding your enemies to dust, and that's what earns it the number 10 spot. I'm not gonna lie, this weapon is probably the one that comes the closest to breaking my projectiles aren't weapons rule, but as you can see in the carefully selected footage, it can also be used as a weapon. Just whip this bad boy at someone, listen to that "get over here" phrase we all know and love, and pull your opponent towards you for some more punishment. Now, due to delays, I haven't seen what this bad boy can do in MKX, but I'm sure it won't disappoint. What else can I say? It comes out fast, it does damage, it sends your opponent, letting you uppercut them for quite a bit of damage, and if you're good enough, it can help you rack up some serious juggling combos. Unlike many people, Scorpion and Sub-Zero aren't my favorite Mortal Kombat characters. That would go to Reptile. Back to the point, this weapon and Scorpion's extreme incineration, fiery pit blast of burning death from his face, or, oh, I'm sorry, his flaming skull fatality, make him really cool. And as long as he has this cold, or excuse me, hot, blooded killer with him, he'll be one tough nut to crack. I chose a powered up version of the whip from Castlevania 4. I just called this bad boy the chain whip. I have a feeling that's gonna come back to bite me later. This weapon, man, turns skeletons from bone to fire, baby, yeah! Having fun yet? Meh, whatevs. That's it. Turns bones to fire. Next, okay, I'll indulge you. The chain whip can be whipped in 8 directions, and can one-shot a lot of stuff early on. You got a journey to go on to stop Count Dracula. Do you really want a pair of dinky pistols? You want no. No, you don't. You want a powerful 8-direction whipping chain whip, not some dinky pistol. You got skeletons and living plants trying to kill you. What could be better than this beast? Other than the next 7 entries.
Can fire in spurts. If he shoots ya, it's gonna hurt.
In God of War, you have weapons Devil May Cry can only dream of. Wait a minute, I haven't even played Devil May Cry. The moral of the story, the Blades of Chaos are amazing. Yeah, you can cut down legions of the undead, leaving holes in them the size of Mother Russia. The only weapons better than these is the Blade of Olympus, but you can only use that for short bursts of time, whereas you can use these whenever you want. What, not good enough for you greedy pigs? Well, don't worry, because they can be upgraded. And do you want to know the strangest part? These aren't even the best dual weapons in gaming. Trust me, we're gonna get to those somewhere down the line. predators are coming, and they're coming with all kinds of weaponry. Now this was a hard choice. Wait a minute, no it wasn't. The plasma caster wrecks everything in its path until you're out of power. You know, to spamming. But this weapon can one-shot almost anything you come across, but it's not overpowered because you have limited power. And when you run out of power, Freddy Fazbear is gonna get ya. No, it's not that bad. You just won't be able to use your weapons to recharge it by stealing power from humans. Then you can wreck some more havoc. The Heroes of Mithril Hall, books by R.A. Salvatore, is a great series of books, and I highly recommend reading them. But to save you like 6 books, at one point Drizzt gets 2 scimitars called Twinkle and Icing Death. Hey, Drizzt is also playable in Dark Alliance, and holy guacamole, these swords are awesome. They look cool and are powerful, freezing people and knocking them to pieces all under a second. This is some General Grievous speed right here. Dr. Chiron says General Grievous is the bomb. Get out of my way, you stupid thieves. I've got a Karn to kill. Yeah, a small problem though is in the first game. If you want to play Drizzt long term, you gotta beat the game on extreme first. But not in the second game. There's a reason why Dark Alliance 2 is the better of the 2 games. Ha! You thought you could sell these and collect that big money? Heh, not in your dying dreams. Drizzt is a loyal spray-painted elf, but who in their right minds would want to sell these? Not me, that's for sure. You know, when I made the rule that I couldn't include weapons that were initially made as tools, this entry immediately popped into my head. And a lot of weapons started off as tools but have become weapons. Personally, I think the worst victim of this trend has to be the chainsaw. Chainsaws started off as an easy, loud way to cut down trees and blah blah blah. Get to the entry already, I bet you're thinking. Well, I will get to the entry. Geez, you guys have no patience for build-up or suspense. The chainsaw from Conker's Bad Fur Days multiplayer is the best weapon in the game, or at least the most fun to use. And given the variety of weapons in Conker's Bad Fur Days, that's saying a lot. The reason I like this weapon so much is because it has a good balance between speed and power. It can basically one-shot anything without compromising your speed like the bazooka. The death animation of this weapon when you hack someone apart is also kinda cool. I also think this weapon is very satisfying to use. You know what's cool? Lightsabers. And you know what's cooler than one lightsaber? 2 lightsabers. And you know what's cooler than 2 lightsabers? 2 lightsabers put together. Enter the double-bladed lightsaber. I've always loved these things as a kid. They were so cool. They were like twice the power. But this is a list about video game incarnations. So how do you think they are in video games? Well, what's the best Star Wars game ever? Battlefront 2, obviously. These things can hit more enemies, feel smoother to use, and are cooler looking than normal lightsabers. To be honest, I was originally going to have the lightsaber on this list and have it imply that it covers all types of lightsabers, but then I realized these things should have their own spot that's different from their single-bladed brothers.
I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me.
No, I ain't talking about that freak, alright? He's not here, is he? How do I get this fucking thing off?
Yep, my favorite weapon in video gaming is the flamethrower from Team Fortress 2.
What I love about it is how lenient of a weapon it is, and that's the last thing you would expect from a flame-spewing death machine. Let's start with the most obvious thing it does, shooting fire. If you get caught at the spewing end of this weapon, your health will be drained faster than Miley Cyrus lost her dignity, and we all know how fast that was. That, coupled with the afterburn effect, means that if you make the mistake of either letting a pyro get too close or getting too close to a pyro, you will be taking a lot of damage by the end of it all. And for those of you saying that if they're out of range that you can't do anything, well then use your secondary weapon. Now let's talk about how lenient it is. It has a compression blast, basically meaning a burst of highly compressed air will shoot out the tip of the flamethrower. Doesn't sound so bad until you realize it can reflect almost all types of enemy projectiles, put out teammates who are on fire, and knock you back about 15 feet. Also, this weapon is fun to use. Whenever I use this weapon, I feel just like this.